And I fetch you like a glove. If you guys haven't heard this particular Daenerys and the Targaryen song, it's called Lancest is Best. And it's really funny. Incest is best. Oh my goodness! Reginald of Harrowaystown has grayscale. Bummer. Yeah. Stay away. Okay, what is going to happen here? When Harrenhal burned the Ironborn troops, Vicon Grey, Joy Reload, and we carry the blood of the Grey King himself, we won't sit idly. But yeah, that's right. We have a strong claim to the Kingdom of the Iron Rivers. Damn right we do. It's time to party at this feast. Yeah, that's the bummer about being ruled by the West is we can't go reaving anymore. We have no... We do not have that permission. Wait, why can't we go? Alright, I don't know why we can't go. But, alright. Time to get back to real life, eh? But we're playing a game. This is already not real life. I really don't know what we're going to do with this king in our prison. Are we just going to sit on him and hold him there and be like, hey, king, we're just going to keep you here. We can't ransom him. It'd be cool to execute him, but not cool in a good way for us in the game. Ross the Rabbi is asking list the required DLC to play this mod. I don't know that you need any of them, but if you go to the forums, which are Citadel is it BHB or Citadel PHP? Just search for a Song of Ice and Fire Crusader Kings mod, and I think it's and the keyword is Citadel something. And I don't think any of the mods are required. There's a lot of DLC for this game, but maybe some of the older ones are required. But I've definitely lost track, so I understand your pain there. It's been a long time. Minge Forever says, can't you initiate a vote on Reaving Aloud as a regent? Interesting. Well then, that's a great... Oops, wrong kingdom here. We're looking at the rock. Reaving Aloud. Where is that? First Night, feudal levies, taxation, inheritance. Where would that be, though? Do we need more... Huh. Yeah, I don't see it. Maybe now I can. Yeah, I'm still region for the West. Isn't that wild? The mod's not difficult to install, no. It's gotten easier because they've got an installer now. It used to have to be a manual thing, but now it's got an installer. Yeah, I thought that sounded familiar now that when you mentioned it that I could do this, but I do not see the ability to allow reaving. Maybe that's maybe I need a DLC for that. I'm not sure. Anyway. Obligate the vassal. That's how we are. Yeah. Oh, it worked. Cool. He's a little unhappy with us for demanding that, but he did it. Alright, let the money roll in. Oh, yeah. What is our play here? What do we do with this king in prison? What do we do with him? Oh, jeez. Another crash. That is bad. Well, at least we got to another autosave point, but this is not a good sign that this is already, what, our third crash? Dang it. Sorry, folks. Wish I could control this, but obviously I can't. Every time it crashes, it hangs for a minute, too. We have to wait for it to finish crashing. Well, in the meantime, I'll talk about a few more of these trailer thoughts that I had. So there's this one scene where we were trying to figure out who it was on the battlements with their swords swinging around, kind of swinging and fighting, and we debated it a bit on our trailer review. And after seeing the lightened version, I feel kind of silly because it's definitely Brienne. We definitely threw that out as an option. We couldn't tell, but I wouldn't have even considered it a debate if I had seen the lightened version sooner. That is definitely Brienne. It doesn't really tell us anything other than that's her, and she's in the battle, which we already knew. She's fighting. Okay, I mean, Brienne fighting. That's not exactly the biggest surprise there. So, as for other things, though, the thing about Arya, I agree with some of the theories going around that what's happening with Arya isn't that she's running scared. It's that she was timing her run so that she would be noticed on purpose. She's bait, in other words. She's leading the walkers and or the whites away from the non-combatants. Again, it's a theory. I like it because if you guys remember, if you watched our trailer review, the thing that was getting me stuck was, why was she pausing? Why was she waiting? It was like, I thought to myself, maybe she was psyching herself up before making her run. But I think this fits a lot better. The idea that she is waiting and timing it with intent rather than being in mortal terror and just trying to psych herself up. And that would also explain why she's looking behind her not because she's worried, but to make sure they're coming. She wants them to chase her. So I'm gonna also definitely a setting I need to change on here is this. I need to autosave more than once a year because we're having these crashes. So let me go to the menu and do that. Manage settings. Oh, not these settings. Not that setting. I want game settings. That's message settings. Wrong settings. Game options. That's what we want. Autosave. Interval. I guess we got to do monthly, even though that's kind of a hassle, but it only takes a few seconds to autosave, but we lost like 6 months there, and that already happened. We already had a couple crashes, so yeah, let's try to avoid that. Come on, game. Get it together. I think the Werewood net is interfering with us. They don't like the drowned god. It's some sort of battle of deities is going on here. If it stays if it stops freezing, if it stops crashing, I'll return to less frequent autosaves. But yeah, it is. Oh, hey, Gregor the Toasty, good to see you, buddy. It is a trap. And here's that message again. Hey, that's familiar. Save. I thought it was getting ready to crash again. Good, good, good. It wasn't. Who's a fighter? Are you a fighter? You're a fighter. 5.17 is the best of this batch. We'll give her the job. We are still a mostly female bodyguard. Kind of unusual. Nothing wrong with it, but it's definitely odd. Cool. Jamie can be our master of the horse. This guy, this bastard. And who else needs a title? Cupbearer. More commanders. And we'll go with Brilliant Commander. Yes, Brian. Very good. Bring people to the drowned god. Yes, bring them, bring them. I also think this is a little more of regarding Season 8. I also think that the end game is going to be a little, maybe a lot different than we're being led to believe, or at least how a lot of people expect it to go. And what I mean by that is, I'm not so sure the climax is going to be defeating the Night King. I think that will be a climax, but I think they're setting it up to be Cersei's death. Cersei's fall is going to be the real climax. I think Night King might be defeated before Cersei. But we'll see. I'm not super confident with that prediction, but I wouldn't be surprised. I also think there will be fewer main character deaths than we're all expecting. I think they're going to do the kind of thing that they do where they kind of lead you to think that main characters are going to die, and then they kill off secondary characters, lots of them. Now, secondary characters in Game of Thrones are really important. Like, I'm calling Marjorie Tyrell and Olenna secondary characters. I'm calling Stannis a secondary character for the TV show. So, keep that in mind. That's an important caveat with what I'm saying here. So when I say secondary characters are going to die, I still mean potentially characters like Brienne and Davos, which is going to be, you know, very sad and hard to deal with. But I'm skeptical that Jaime is ever going to die. I'm very skeptical that Tyrion will die. I don't think that Dany or Jon will die in the show. But I do think one or both of them will in the books. I think Dany more likely than Jon, because she's more of a savior figure, die to save everyone type. But that's another thing I'm not terribly married to. So I think that'll be something of a twist if that's how it goes in terms of the because town. So we're definitely going to get to see a little bit of the common people struggling and suffering, but I think it'll be pretty minimal. Whereas in the books, we're going to get front and center. It's going to be really dark. It'll be more constant and ubiquitous. So, yeah. Abram Stark says, I think you're going to legitimize the Bastard Lord to increase the... another crash. Alright. I don't think I want to keep reloading and going back and doing this over and over. I don't think you guys do either. This is not an entertaining game stream. So I'm going to call it quits here. And next time, we're going to probably start a new game. We'll probably update the game, get it on a stable platform, and just have to start fresh. Unless I could figure out a way to prevent these crashes in the meantime. If someone has advice or suggestions, I'm all for it. I'm going to check away. Bummer. Well, technology not participating with us today, but we can't just keep doing this over and over. It takes 5 minutes to reload every time, and it's just not cooperating. Make up for it. Maybe do something. Even do a different game. I've talked about doing that before. The last game we wanted to play isn't working out for us as far as the arrangement we were making with that company. So anyway, we'll get that settled. But sorry about that, folks. We'll see y'all next time. Everybody have a good weekend, and Valar reread us.